You're a traitor to the country, all of you.
Mask meltdown at the sandwich shop counter.
Too bad.
And it's not the only time it's happened recently. Plus, frame by frame, second by second.
Oh, don't do that.
Analyzing the moments that claimed one life.
Drop it!
And is changing 5 others.
No!
No!
You're watching Oklahoma's News 4 at 10.
We'll get to all that in a moment, but first, 81 degrees today. But if you're thinking about getting the shorts and the flip-flops out of the closet for tomorrow, don't do it just yet.
What a tease. A big dip in temperatures, and for some, a big chance of rain, Mike.
Okay, so check this out. 81 degrees today, guys. The last time that we were above 80 degrees was 85 degrees 2 days before when? The October ice storm.
Oh, only Oklahoma.
No. How about that? So we're on the other side now of the big Grand Canyon of wintertime, hopefully. Let's take a look outside. We've got some dust out there from the dry line, which kicked up some dust in western Oklahoma, and fire danger sure was critical today. We had some 40 and 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts with blowing dust in western Oklahoma, nearly made 90 in Altus today, 81 in Oklahoma City. The dry line now running from near Alva down to near Hollis in far western Oklahoma, and there's a cold front now moving in. That's why you likely won't want to wear the flip-flops for tomorrow, and along that cold front, we're getting some thunderstorms going, and they are pushing into central and eastern Kansas right now. They're along the cold front, the dry line intersection here. So near this cold front dry line intersection is where there may be thunderstorms back building into northern Oklahoma, deeper into the overnight hours. One storm is severe, a little ways east of Wichita right now. Then we're going to talk about our major weather maker for Friday, Saturday, and Saturday night as it comes across Oklahoma and brings in some weather changes. Tonight, that cold front pushes in. There's a slight risk overnight in northern Oklahoma. Some hail possible with scattered to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms coming into northern Oklahoma. A 20% chance of storms later tonight here in the metro. But guys, all sorts of changes rolling our way in that forecast coming up.
And right now, breaking news, a 3-month-old baby safe tonight after an allegedly wild joyride through the city with on-again, off-again girlfriend of the child's mother. This all started in Midwest City when the two got into an argument. Police say the girlfriend, who is suspected of being drunk, took off with the child in the car, leading officers on a chase that reached speeds up to 70 miles per hour. At one point, the woman allegedly slamming into another vehicle, another driver on the road, but kept going, eventually stopping at her mother's house in Bethany. She was taken into custody. That baby checked out by EMSA and is going to be safe.
Oh, don't do that.
Get down on the ground. Down. Drop it.
Get your No!
The video graphic to watch and hear, detailing the final moments of 15-year-old Stavion Rodriguez's life, a robbery suspect. And tonight, 5 officers now charged in his death. As News 4 looks at the video frame by frame, detailing the exact moment, according to the charges, those officers stepped over the line. News 4's Cassandra Sweetman live at police headquarters with the story. Cassandra.
Kevin, we spoke to people who both support and condemn the officers. In both cases, they say they're surprised by the charges.
Oh, don't do that.
Get down on the ground. Down. Drop it.
Get your No!
The tragic final moments of 15-year-old Stavion Rodriguez's life revealed. Body cam and surveillance footage released, and 5 of the 6 officers involved charged.
What do you expect a police officer to do?
It doesn't change my opinion about this being an egregious murder.
Adriana Laws advocates for Rodriguez's family and says she was surprised to see the officers charged at all. Court documents describing how after dropping his gun on the ground, he then puts his left hand in his rear pocket and his right hand at his front right pocket or waistline. That's when the officers fire, hitting the teen 13 times.
The lights shining in his face, disorienting him, different commands coming from different directions. The response time between the time they ordered demands and gave him to respond was not even an acceptable amount of time.
I don't see anything that any of these officers have done that, in my opinion, would be even remotely inappropriate.
Defense attorney Scott Adams saying no matter how small or young the teen was, he posed a danger and his actions were alarming.
Whenever he came out of there and he dropped the gun, those police officers are in hyper alert status. And when he reached around his back, it was instinctive for those police officers to start pulling the trigger. If they don't, they're going to get killed.
Now, the charging documents described those 5 officers' actions as unnecessary. Court documents say the 6th officer used less lethal force. Reporting live at the Oklahoma City Police Department, Cassandra Sweetman, Oklahoma's News 4.
You're a traitor to the country, all of you.
1 year into COVID and 2 recent metro meltdowns over wearing a mask. In separate incidents, frustrated customers kicked out of a metro bar and a sandwich shop, refusing to go quietly. News 4's Austin Brissett joins us live. And Austin, in one of those cases, managers threatened to call police.
Yeah, Jolene, it's all quiet here at Lee's Sandwiches right now. But just yesterday, a customer cracked whenever he was asked to put on his mask inside of the restaurant, and that leaving those restaurant employees inside of a box when trying to deal with a situation like this.
You're all nuts. Call them. I don't care. If I tell you you're an idiot.
An explosion of anger inside of Lee's Sandwiches off Classen. A customer cracking after being told to wear a mask.
What are you doing? Are you harassing me? Huh?
I think it's just such unacceptable behavior.
OKC City Council member James Cooper says some may find the masks annoying, but the city still mandating them in public.
We are all going through it. And yet I have not yelled at another human being right now because of this particular mask ordinance.
She's approaching me.
Lee's Sandwiches not alone. Pony Boy off 23rd Street dealing with some incidents of their own with 3 guests just a week ago.
They took it as an affront to them that we were asking the bare minimum of mask standards.
Eventually asking them to leave.
Yeah, you gotta pick that up somewhere else.
Absolutely. Yeah. Goodbye. Have a nice night.
And I don't blame them for clapping.
Alex Larea, the bar's food and beverage director, saying it doesn't happen often, but when it does,
we've heard some unkind words. We've had some threats of 1-star Yelp reviews.
As the state continues inching towards possible normalcy, local leaders and restaurateurs alike urging Oklahomans to stay strong.
Right around the corner, everybody. Hang tough.
There's no point in giving up this close to the 8th or 9th inning.
Now, while the vaccines are still being distributed, OKC's mask mandate is still in effect until at least April 30th. In Northwest Oklahoma City, Austin Brissett, Oklahoma's News 4.
All right, Austin, thank you. Tonight, a touching tribute finally finished, memorializing a heart-wrenching tragedy. A tragedy that claimed 3 young lives outside of their high school and more. And that's where News 4's Peyton Yeager is joining us now with a new marker to remember those students. Peyton?
Kevin, the memorial is right off of Main Street at Moore High School. Here are the 3 plaques for those 3 high school students. Rachel Freeman, and in the middle, Colby Crum, and right here on the end, Yuridia Martinez. 3 teenagers who are still deeply missed.
Students are united always.
Wednesday, a special day on the Moore High School campus.
I often tell people that our tragedy on February 3rd was a bad day. Today is a good day.
An unimaginable blueprint now officially unveiled. Memorial Park, a place to honor Yuridia Martinez, Colby Crum, and Rachel Freeman. Rachel's mom, Jody, calling the park a place of comfort.
I will spend probably every day here.
The 3 Moore High School students killed in February of 2020. Police say a truck barreling 80 miles per hour through a school zone drove straight into a crowd of cross-country runners.
Our children aren't supposed to be taken away from us like that.
13 months later, the same spot filled with family, first responders, and students. One of them, now senior Shiloh Hutchinson, a survivor. All of them taking their turn walking past the memorial, displaying 3 plaques of the teens, and embedded in the cement, bronze footprints fading down the sidewalk.
The shoe impressions was actually the shoe that Colby wore that day. And so those were his last steps here, and literally.
To honor and to heal, step by step.
This is a memorial for people to see when they come by, for the next generation, for the kids here to see.
This memorial is months in the making. Construction began in late November, and Moore School District tells me one more thing will be added to Memorial Park, park benches so people can come and sit. Live in Moore, Peyton Yeager, Oklahoma's News 4.
All right, Peyton, thank you for that. The driver of the truck, Max Townsend, is still in jail a year later, accused of speeding and driving drunk. He also faces murder and leaving the scene of a fatality accident charges. He's still waiting for his trial date to be set.
Next in weather.
Temperatures tonight still well up in the 60s here in Oklahoma City. Shades of springtime for sure. Thunderstorms are getting close to northern Oklahoma. That's with a cold front. Tomorrow will turn chillier, but the warm air comes back, and with that, an opportunity of more thunderstorm activity. We'll check out that timeline for you coming up.
Well, in this era of social distancing, we're revisiting a Pay It Forward story that we first brought you in late 2018. A man who wanted to thank a local dentist for giving him a brand new smile free of charge.
News 4's Heather Holman set up a fake appointment at that dentist office to help this smiling patient pay it forward with the help of First Fidelity Bank.
Fire 2. Go ahead and start that up for me, please.
For the past 8 years, Dan Mark has provided excellent service to customers at Camp's Quick Change Oil in Edmond.
And just make sure it's full. There we go. And now they're all ready to go.
But now he can give them service with a smile.
It's a life-changing thing.
Dan hardly had any teeth left, none in the front.
I would never open my mouth. I'd never smile in a family picture because I had bad teeth in the front. Basically, I had about 14 teeth that had to be pulled. 4.5 quarts, 5.30.
So he would hide his happiness behind closed smiles until one of his customers, dentist Mike Wallace, changed that.
Can you open big for me?
Pulling all 14 teeth and giving Dan a set of dentures, nearly $5,000 worth of work over the course of 4 months for free.
You know, it was something I always wanted to look into, but I thought I could never afford because I don't have any dental insurance or anything like that. I just felt like it was God's gift to me somehow that, you know, that it was meant to happen.
What has this done for your self-confidence?
It's tremendous. I mean, you know, you can walk up, talk to people, you can be more outgoing and just kind of, you know, and the way people react to you is just special. I'm forever grateful to them.
And that's why Dan wants to surprise Dr. Mike, as they call him, with a gift of his own. But first, give us one more smile.
On behalf of First Fidelity Bank, I want to give you $400 to pay it forward, so here you go.
Well, let's go surprise him. We quietly sneak through the hallways at Wallace Family Dentistry in Edmond, where we set up a fake dental exam for Dan.
Which way is he going to come from? That way.
Dr. Mike has no idea what he's about to walk into.
Hello.
Hi.
We are from Channel 4.
Yes, you are.
Surprise, surprise.
Mike, hi.
Hi, I'm Heather. Nice to meet you. We do a show called Pay It Forward, and Dan has told us about what you have done for him, and Dan has something he'd like to give to you.
On behalf of First Fidelity Bank and Channel 4, I'd like to present you with $400.
That is super awesome. Thanks, Dan.
Dr. Mike, I can't express my appreciation for all you've done for me and how much I appreciate everything.
Well, that's awesome. We can make this go to the right people, too.
Dr. Mike also creates smiles for others in need a couple of times each year.
It's just something that does warm your heart, makes you feel great about what you do. Before, it's hidden behind his mouth, his lips, and his hands when he would try to talk to people. And now he walks up, shoulders back.
In fact, Dan doesn't own a single before picture of himself, not even with his mouth closed. But he does have this x-ray to give us an idea of the smile he used to hide.
You can see right here, I don't have the front 4 at the top, and then I don't have these bottom 4, or any of these, or any of these, or any of these back here. And it was a mess. And I'm so happy to have a new smile.
As for an after picture, here it is, Dan's first photo since his life was transformed.
I see him glowing every time he comes in. He comes in with piles of thank yous and big warm smiles for everybody. I think he does sneak in here sometimes, faking appointments just to come in.
They say a smile is worth 1,000 words, but if you ask Dan, it's worth far more.
Thank you, Dr. Mike. You're welcome. Appreciate you so much.
Heather Holman, Oklahoma's News 4.
Oh, man, don't you love it? Well, at the time, Dr. Mike said he chose to help Dan for the same reason he chooses all of the people he helps each year, because they never ask for it. And Dan is still a client to this day.
We also want to point out that Dan's boss, the owner of Champs Quick Change Oil in Edmond, paid about $1,000 for additional denture-related expenses outside of Dr. Mike's office.
Now, forewarned weather with Mike Morgan.
We have a cold front moving into northern Oklahoma. It'll be a player for our weather tomorrow morning here in Oklahoma City. Let's get to the latest here for you. We have clear skies outside. Some blowing dust earlier today kind of gave us a murky look to the clouds across the sunset as we had our haze out there. Let's go over to Max 1 here, gang, and check it out from Rose State College in Midwest City. There it is. And there's that dust out there coming in from western Oklahoma. Definitely an orange and yellow feel to the sunset because of that dust. 67 degrees outside, south winds at 18 miles per hour. 64 in Watonga, 68 in Chickasha. Nice temperatures. 68 in Edmond, 68 in Hera, 68 in Tulsa. Here comes the front, now crossing Alva and Woodward up in northwestern Oklahoma. And the dry line is draped out near Elk City and Clinton, down toward Hollis and up toward Alva tonight. Dry west of that and a little more humid and milder east of that dry line. They're important players here to the weather going forward because the cold front's triggering storms right now in much of southeastern Kansas. No storms formed on the dry line, and they probably will not form on the dry line for the rest of the night. But the cold front will help to add additional lift. They kind of act like a wedge and lift the atmosphere, and we're getting thunderstorms going up. One storm is severe near Chanute. Main threat here is quarter to near golf ball size hail. The front just now passing into Grant County and Alfalfa County and Woods County out by Alva. And this front will be coming through. The front's coming through Oklahoma City between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. in the morning. So we may start off in the 60s, but we're going to wind up in the upper to mid 50s. Temperatures will slide in the down direction when the front comes through. You'll notice it, and low gray cloud cover will move in as well when the frontal boundary comes through, that cold front. So the upper level disturbance out here in central California, now onshore, comes across New Mexico and Colorado, and then across Oklahoma and Kansas and northern Texas as we head toward Friday and Saturday. For the overnight period, there's a slight risk with hail potentially up to golf ball size and 65-mile-per-hour winds. Northern Oklahoma as these storms try to back build down that cold front as the cold front approaches the metro. This is toward the 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. time frame. We'll see whether or not we have any actual severe storms. There might be a couple of severe storms. We'll keep track of that. 60 degrees for a low with the front coming through just after sunrise in the morning. So chillier in the morning in all of northern and northwestern Oklahoma, and trending down in the temperature even in Oklahoma City. The front's going to stall down by Pauls Valley. Closer look here on the detailed forecast. You see the storms across northern Oklahoma tonight. 20% chance or a low probability. They'll graze the metro late tonight towards sunrise in the morning. But cloud cover comes in. Cooler temperatures come in with the front, and we'll be on the chilly side of that front all day long for your Thursday. And then the front stalls down around Pauls Valley over towards Seminole. Then it starts to lift back to the north as it plays cat and mouse with central Oklahoma on Friday. Here's the map for Friday morning. The best chance of rain Friday morning in northern Oklahoma. And then as we head toward late Friday, we'll see the main wave of energy come out, that storm out in California now. You see the showers and thunderstorms late Friday out in the Texas Panhandle. That's an excellent chance of rain Friday night into Saturday. That's the best opportunity. There will be plenty of dry time here going forward. The rain and storms are looking a little spottier than they did a couple of days ago in the forecast. 1 to 3 feet of snow, some local amounts of 4 feet in Colorado, very heavy snow in northern New Mexico as well. There's the rain through midday tomorrow. As you see, the metro basically slim to none. And then as we head toward Friday night into Saturday, that's when the lion's share of the rain and storms do move in. The metro 1 inch to locally 2 inches of rain. A few folks may get a little over 2 inches of rainfall. 60 degrees tonight, 20% storm chance. There's your map of the morning. Low 60s to upper 40s in the metro, so the cold front coming in. And there's your overnight chance of rain, moderate probability. And look at the 30s and 40s tonight in northwest Oklahoma. And 58 for tomorrow with dropping temperatures, a northeasterly breeze. Mid 50s to near 60 for metro highs with some drizzle and some cloud cover around. It's going to be a cloudy, cooler day tomorrow. And again, some dry periods here, but at least some opportunity of storms on Friday. More widespread Friday night into Saturday. 68 Friday, 70 Saturday. Dry on Sunday now, 59. Next chance of rain on Wednesday and 48, and then milder again on that 7-day +4 tonight.
Now, sports with Brian Brinkley.
You ever wish you could push the reset button on things? Well, Oklahoma's men's basketball team got that chance in a sense tonight. After losing their final 4 regular season games, the Sooners got a fresh start with the Big 12 tournament as they face Iowa State tonight in the first round in Kansas City. Ron Kruger's team trying to end a 4-game losing streak in the Big 12 tournament, and OU went on a mid-first half surge to take the lead off the scramble here. Elijah Harkless to Alondas Williams for the big throwdown. And then Davion Harmon got started as he asserted his will on the game. Check out the spin move here for the layup. He has 17 points. The Sooners led by 8 at halftime. They built the lead to 19 in the second half, and they got great balance in scoring. Harkless gets the steal, and he shows Harmon he can spin too. Harkless has 10, but the Cyclones have roared back. It's a 5-point game now with under a minute to go. The Sooners trying to hold on. Both Cade Cunningham and Isaac Likely are expected to play for Oklahoma State when the Cowboys open Big 12 tournament play tomorrow morning at 10:30 against West Virginia. Both missed last Saturday's game in Morgantown. The Cowboys split 2 games with the Mountaineers this year, with the visiting team winning both games.
The games were played differently, but there were things that happened in both games that either we need to make sure doesn't happen to give ourselves a chance, or we need to continue to be really good at. You know, for us, Saturday, we were really good in transition. We got out and got some easy baskets, even when they scored at times. And so there's certainly things you can learn from every game.
The Big 12 Women's Basketball Awards were released today as voted on by the league's coaches, and the Big 12 Coach of the Year is OSU's Jim Littell. The Cowgirls were picked to finish 8th in the conference, and they went 13-5 to finish 3rd. OSU forward Natasha Mack is the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year and a first-team All-Big 12 pick. She led the league in rebounding and block shots. And OU forward Maddie Williams was a first-team All-Big 12 pick. OU's Taylor Robertson and OSU's Jamie Asbury were both named second-team All-Big 12. In the Class 4A boys quarterfinals today at State Fair Arena, Kingfisher and Class and SAS both won. They'll play in the semifinals Friday morning at 9:30. In Class 3A girls tonight, Lincoln Christian and Jones were the winners. They'll meet in the semifinals Friday at 6. Class 5A and 6A start their tournaments tomorrow. And the Oklahoma City Thunder will break out some new uniforms tomorrow night for the opening game of the second half of the season. These are the earned uniforms for OKC. The Thunder host the Mavericks at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Back with more after this.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Appreciate you being with us. Remember, we're 24/7 at KFOR.com.